are channel lock tone groove pliers. My dad uses them on his race car, too.
For the tough jobs and the small jobs, reach for Channel Lock, the handiest plier of them all.
Hey, guys, anybody seen the channel lock pliers?
Channel Lock. Be sure you're getting genuine Channel Lock pliers. Look for this trademark.
A closer examination of this pit stop by Rusty Waddle will show us that he really didn't come close to hitting the guy on the right front of the race car, but instead they were just simply trying to get the car out quickly to avoid going a lap down. The guy puts the hood pin back in and spins around, sending Rusty off because the pace car in the field were coming around and he was about to go a lap down.
Yes, he was. Another lap down. He is already 2 laps down.
The only car on the lead lap with Kyle Petty is Jeff Bodine in number 11, and he is at the tail end of the lead lap. So Kyle has things pretty much in hand at the moment.
He's in a great position, no question about that.
The crowd salutes the green flag as it comes back out, and the race resumes on lap number 451.
And Jeff Bodine, once again, down on the inside, is able to move out in front of Kyle Petty. It'll take him about 2-3 laps. If he decides to do that, now he's been running pretty conservatively here lately, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind having everybody lap down.
Yeah, you know where the second place car is as long as you've got him in front of you. And on the other hand, I think that he would like to pass him. There's Sterling Marlin.
And he was up right behind Dale Earnhardt when the green flag dropped. He had a terrible start, and he's just steadily dropping back. He looks like he's got a problem with the 94 car.
That smoke is still very evident coming out of the rear end of that number 94 car.
He's being shown in the 4th position. There are 3 cars that are, well, actually 2 cars that are 1 lap down because Jeff Bodine is back in the lead lap. He's in 2nd place. 3rd place is Ken Schrader, 1 lap down. Sterling Marlin is 4th, 1 lap down. Rusty Wallace is 5th now. He is 2 laps down.
Sterling a little bit squirrely coming out of the 4th corner last lap.
He's just not handling nearly as well as he did before this caution flag. He's just not accustomed to the tires or something. I don't know exactly what it is.
Watching from Harry Gant's in car. There's the smoke once again. Kyle Petty, meanwhile, up in front of all this, trying to put Jeff Bodine a lap down, and he does do that as we continue to watch Sterling Marlin. So now Kyle Petty has a lap on the entire field as we show you those cars that have dropped out of competition. Bill Elliott out because of a crash. Hut Strickland also out because of that same crash. Richard Petty, Ricky Rudd, and Mark Martin are among the most recent to drop out. So is Michael Waltrip, Alan Kulwicki.
I made a statement while we were way on commercial to those of us here in the booth that Earnhardt was going to fool around and get himself a top 10 finish. Well, right now he is in 10th place, but he is 4 laps down.
The number 11 and 25 cars are racing for position. They're a lap down to the leader, but nevertheless, they are in a battle for 2nd spot.
Can you imagine, Ken, would that be a story if he was to finish 2nd with his 3rd choice automobile? But first of all, he's got to get by the 11 car driven by Jeff Bodine.
The number 57 car got squirrely last lap. Watch the right side of your frame. Jimmy Spencer with the car sideways, sliding up the racetrack and getting a handle on it as the 16 car of Larry Pearson went by on the inside.
I think Larry Pearson probably touched the left rear of Spencer's car, which forced him up high and got him a little bit squirrely.
Now, while we watch this battle for 2nd place, of course, Kyle Petty, as we have said, is in a lap by himself in the lead. In 2nd place is Jeff Bodine in the car number 11, and Ken Schrader there in 3rd. They're 1 lap down. In 4th place is Sterling Marlin. He too is 1 lap down. In 5th place is Rusty Wallace, 2 laps down. In 6th place is Darrell Waltrip. He's 3 laps down. And then in 7th is Terry Labonte, 3 laps down. Morgan Shepherd is 8th, 3 laps down. And the car number 57 of Jimmy Spencer we saw there a moment ago is 3 laps down. He's in 9th place. Dale Earnhardt is 10th. Harry Gant 11th. Derek Coates is 12th. Those 3 cars are 4 laps down, and 5 laps down. In 13th position is Phil Parsons in the Kodak Film Oldsmobile number 4.
And the 94 car of Sterling Marlin was just black flagged again by NASCAR. He's going to have to come in for a pit stop. Now, although Kyle Petty has dominated this race from the very drop of the green flag, and he's got a lap lead on the entire field, don't go away, friends. Remember what happened just a few weeks ago at Daytona when Dale Earnhardt had things in hand with less than a mile to go and he lost the race?
I remember it well.
You never know, that checkered flag drops.
Exactly.
Dale Jarrett can tell you that from yesterday.
That's true. Less than 3 laps from the victory for Dale Jarrett in the Grand National race, and he had an encounter with a slower car, and Dale Earnhardt drove to victory.
That was Jimmy Means going down the pit road on the backstretch. Jimmy not having one of his better runs here today, but he stayed in there and kept going as much as he can.
Kyle Petty will certainly increase his standings in the Winston Cup points. He went into the race 16th in the point standings. And here comes Sterling Marlin in for the black flag stop. Dick Bergeron, we'll check in with him one more time. Dick?
Well, there's really not an awful lot they can do about this without really doing a major repair under the car. They're going to go under there with some degreaser and spray it, and hopefully whatever oil it is that's coming out of that transmission and hitting the headers is going to dissipate, disappear. At least it'll stop smoking some. We'll see if that works out. At least this time when Sterling Marlin leaves the pit, the transmission sounds fine. Last time he had a hard time getting it through gears.
Now here's a happier crew, and these guys, although they're happy, look like that they are just a little bit tentative here. They're holding their breath.
They remember what happened to Dale Earnhardt at Daytona just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, they know anything can happen. Did you see Steve Lloyd, the crew chief on the Sunoco Oldsmobile, tell the NASCAR official, you look under
Yes,
there.
exactly. Yeah. The NASCAR official stayed on the other side of the wall, but he was trying to be shown. The number 1 car now begins to show some smoke. That's Terry Labonte. Labonte's showing smoke in the number 1 car. He is battling with the 57 car Jimmy Spencer for position.
Labonte currently running 7th. Spencer running in the 8th position, trying to take that away. And they get awfully close coming off the turn.
And let's watch from Harry Gant's bumper cam how close Labonte is to him.
These cars are owned by brothers. The number 1 car owned by Richard Jackson, the 33 car owned by Leo Jackson, up out of Asheville, North Carolina.
Now we see Jimmy Spencer pulling alongside Terry Labonte down the backstretch, and Spencer taking the spot.
That should move him into the 7th position.
Now Derek Cope in number 10 is not on the same lap as Labonte and Spencer.
Fast that pavement goes by as we look out that bumper cam of Harry Gant.
That's around 150 miles an hour. You can imagine what it's like at 200. Talladega, Daytona, tracks of that nature.
You can also hear when he gets on and off the accelerator from our bumper cam. Microphone that's carried along with the in-car and bumper cam. So Harry Gant has Terry Labonte right behind him. We'll be back with more racing after this.
I gotta find a job.
How are we going to find a home? I need to get a better bike.
How am I gonna find a new car?
Mom, do we have to sell them?
At Ben's Family Restaurant, we're...
Hi, I'm Robin. Our home-cooked meals make you feel so good inside. Come see me.
Hi, I'm Mark. Here at Ben's, we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'll cook you breakfast anytime. Come see me.
I'm Madeline. At Ben's, we keep things neat and clean, so you'll feel right at home. Come see me.
At Ben's, we take pride in our quality food, friendly service, and cleanliness. Come see us.
It's just around the corner. This spring, we're covering the national pastime full-time. Major League Baseball comes to ESPN. 13 hours of tournament excitement jammed into one day. It's the ACC and Big West quarterfinals as championship week continues. Friday at noon Eastern, live on ESPN.
We hope you're enjoying today's live coverage of the GM Goodwrench 500 from North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham, our first live Winston Cup race of the decade. Our Speed World coverage is being brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by Budweiser, Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And a variety of sports coming up for you on ESPN after our Winston Cup race. We have the Silver Crown Classic from Phoenix International Raceway at 4:30, skiing at 5 o'clock, golf at 6 o'clock, and then this evening, 2 basketball games, championship games, the Southern Conference Championship at 7:30, and the American South Conference Championship at 9:30 this evening. All for you on ESPN. Kyle Petty leads the Goodrich 500 here at Rockingham, and we are coming down to the final few laps.
Kyle Petty a little bit ago had the only car in the lead lap with him, Jeff Bodine. He put the lap on him, drove away about a couple of seconds, and it just stayed there. He is really riding right now, isn't he, Ned?
Yes. You know, Benny, as much as he has led this race, everybody talks about how long the races are here at the North Carolina Motor Speedway anyway. Doesn't that make it even longer when you're sitting out there just waiting those laps to count down?
Hey, folks, we've been here a little bit over 4 hours. Kyle Petty's been sitting in that seat for about 8 or 9 hours right now.
Well, let's go down to Jerry Punch, who's with the owner of the car leading this race. Jerry?
I think Felix Sabatas feels like he's been here at least a week standing here watching his car go around. Now, Felix, we are told if your young man can hang on and you pick up the win here, you get the winner's bonus, you get the Unical bonus, possibly the winner's circle, all the contingency monies. We're talking between $700,000 and $1 million for this win today. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, we figure it out. It's about $850,000 by the time we get our sponsor, Pete Freeze bonus money. So, but, you know, remember what happened to Earnhardt in Daytona, so we're not counting the chickens yet.
Now, you told Kyle Petty that if he picked up a win early in the year, you would buy him a Rolls Royce. Now, but he couldn't wait. He went out and bought one last week.
Well, but I told him today that if he wins the race, I'd give him the money back. So he'll get it free anyway.
Well, if you got one laying around, I look good in the 42 regular Silver Cloud. So just let me know. Hey, your buddy Rick Hendrick came down a minute ago. The guy you bought this team from, to congratulate you. Rick came by to say congratulations to you.
He's a great friend, and he's probably as happy. If we win this race, he'd probably be as happy as he has won it. So, you know, but like I said, remember, Earnhardt in Daytona, anything can happen. 20 laps ago, 18 laps, I don't know.
Felix Sabatas, the owner of the car that Kyle Petty is driving today, and a good friend of Rick Hendrick, another car owner here in Winston Cup Racing.
So Felix is also holding his breath for the last few laps here to see if Kyle can win. His last one was at the World 600, the Coca-Cola World 600 in 1987. It's been 70 races since Kyle Petty visited Victory Lane in a Winston Cup event.
And Felix came to this country from Cuba when he was 16 years old. Very successful businessman and bought a race team a couple of years ago.
But he came here broke.
I know.
Yep. Yeah, he didn't have anything when he came to this country. It's a real success story that he worked hard and made good money. Was one of the original owners of the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte, North Carolina.
There's the second place car driven by Jeff Bodine, the Budweiser Ford, owned by Junior Johnson. Here's the third place car of Ken Schrader. That's, of course, one of the Rick Hendrick cars. Let's go down to Jerry Punch, who has a follow-up on the Felix Sabatas interview.
You got to wonder how Felix first became interested in racing. When he came here as a refugee from Cuba, just trying to get started, trying to feed his family, he saw an advertisement in the paper in Charlotte that they were going to pay $50 a day for extras at a movie there at Charlotte Motor Speedway. So he decided he'd go out and get in line to be an extra. When he looked at it, he said, hey, you don't look like a typical Southern guy that belongs on a racetrack, but we've got a job for you, it'll still pay $50. They put him in a car, told him to drive 100 yards straight ahead, right into that big concrete wall. Well, he did it. Spent a couple of weeks in the hospital, but he did get paid $50. And, of course, that was his first ever involvement in stock car racing.
All right, and he is 11 laps away from being the winning car owner here at Rockingham, North Carolina. Can he hold on to do it? We'll be right back.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold, bud.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
Finally, there's a minivan for kids with parents. And let's face it, we all have them. Yeah. The all-new Oldsmobile Silhouette. Talking radical concept here. Your own window seat, room for lots of things, and neat stuff to keep your parents from bugging you on long trips. Besides, Silhouette makes them look cool. Right.
Ready, dude?
And they need all the help they can get.
Yeah.
This is the new generation of
One leader. Goes to the buzzer. Hodge for three to win. Got it. South Alabama wins it.
Nothing beats the excitement of Championship Week. Continuing tonight, live on ESPN.
We are under caution at Rockingham because of a spin over in turn number 2 involving Derek Cope. Spun up the banking, then came down. Don't believe he hit anything, but it comes with only 9 laps to go. Here comes Derek Cope in for a pit stop. And we thought that Kyle Petty was going to be coming in, but he did not on that particular lap around. Now, here's a replay of what happened. The Derek Cope spin. We're watching from Harry Gant's bumper cam. Oh, my gosh.
Derek Cope was alongside Harry Gant going in turn 1. They were racing for position.
Watch this and listen to it. Did a nice job keeping it off the wall. He's got the tires changed on the Purelator Chevy and moved back out onto the racetrack. Derek Cope, winner of the Daytona 500.
Now the green flag is scheduled to come back out the next lap, so none of the leaders have pitted here, and of course there are not that many laps remaining, and you know there's always a possibility of a goof up in the pits, even as well as they performed today. I don't blame Kyle Petty and Gary Nelson for not bringing him in here. Of course, Jeff Bodine did not come in either, so Kyle just needs to ride it out from here on.
Let's see how those radios are going to be on this first lap after a restart, and they picked up some debris off the racetrack. Green flag.
6 laps to go for Kyle Petty. 486 completed. 492 will complete the distance. And Jeff Bodine on the inside line once again gets back on the lead lap, but all Kyle Petty has to do is keep him in sight. Here comes Dale Earnhardt to the inside of Kyle Petty down the backstretch, and Dale tries to get a lap back.
Yeah, I think Kyle will just sort of play it cool there. He doesn't want to race with any of those fellows. He doesn't need to at this point. Just 5 laps to go now. All he needs to do is just sit there and try to run by himself, let those fellows race for their position.
Dale Earnhardt is in 10th position after many, many problems this afternoon, but still hanging in there to gain a top 10 finish. Petty now at the end of the backstretch into turn number 3. This time by there will be 4 more laps to go. Behind him, Ken Schrader and Darrell Waltrip are running very close together.
Schrader running in 3rd place, Waltrip running in 6th place. There's a lap that separates those two. In fact, 2 laps that separates those 2 cars. Waltrip is 3 laps down. Schrader is only 1 lap down.
If Kyle Petty wins this race in 3.5 laps, added to the prize money posted by the Speedway and the 76 Unical Challenge money, he'll pick up over $300,000 and surpass the first place stock car racing record of $204,000 won by Bill Elliott in 1987 at Daytona 500. Here's a race for position. Sterling Marlin in number 94 and Rusty Wallace in 27.
Rusty's made a pit stop this last caution flag, has 4 new tires, and Sterling Marlin's still able to get by him in turns 1 and 2.
So Sterling Marlin now goes to 4th position. Rusty Wallace is in 5th. We've got 2 more laps to go for Kyle Petty. 2 to go.
This is unbelievable.
Kyle Petty has just totally dominated this race. He was the pole sitter at almost a mile an hour faster than the 2nd place qualifier. And the car has performed as well during the race as it did during qualifying. Here he comes off the 4th corner. Harold Kinder has the white flag in hand. There it is, 1 more mile around the Rockingham, North Carolina racetrack, and the win will belong to Kyle Petty. And the Unical bonus challenge money will be won here again, just as it was for the first time last year when Rusty Wallace walked off with it. Kyle Petty now is between turns 3 and 4, playing it very conservatively, dropping the car to the low side of the racetrack. Off corner number 4, the checkered flag waves, and Kyle Petty has won the Goodrich 500 at Rockingham and picks up the $228,000 in Unical bonus money.
What a great win. What a super win for Kyle.
A lot of other bonus money as well, as we've talked about. Felix Sabato says maybe $800,000. Let's go down to the pits and get Gary Nelson's reaction.
Well, his reaction is with Felix Sabato. There is just absolute pandemonium down here. Gary, you blew him in the weeds today.
Well, I think we picked the best race to do it because of all the money involved for us winning the pole and getting on a winner's circle now, so we're really happy.
Was this a special effort, or can we expect more of this same kind of thing?
I think people better get used to us running up front anyway. I don't know if we can dominate this much again, but at least we're going to be up front.
Now, when Kyle took the white flag, you talked to him on the radio, you talked to him again as he made that last lap. What'd you tell him?
Well, I told him he's done real good so far. Don't screw up now.
You're known to work both on the mechanical end of the car and also the psychological end. Which was most important here?
Well, I think the car was just unbelievable. The motor was so good. The car handled good all day. Everything was great. So I think the car was, and what Kyle did in the car was great.
And that's Gary Nelson. He's your pit crew chief for the winning automobile here. First time that they've dominated like this. Gary Nelson, Kyle Petty winning for the first time together.
Well, I'm an old mule skinner, working hard all day. There ain't a skinner tougher. Mule, you earn your pay.
Introducing the 4x4 Kawasaki Mule and the original Mule 1000. About the only job they can't help you do is look up the number for the Mule dealer nearest you. And that's 1-800-661-RIDE.
Life's full of simple pleasures, like the comfort of Levi's jeans, or had you forgotten?
What could a sleek Jaguar have in common with a fat cat that a dashing deer has in common with a nimble ram and a big bad bulldog has in common with a cute little rabbit? The same quality filter protection you can give whatever animal it is you drive. From Purolator, the world's largest filter company.
Victory Lane, a happy place here at Rockingham for our Road Handler Winner's Circle interview. Here's Dr. Jerry Punch.
Kyle getting a big hug from Patty, his wife, and the family here as they are celebrating Victory Lane. Kyle, you did it in style, my friend.
Well, I tell you what, man, the way this car's run since it came off the trailer is a tribute to Gary Nelson and John Wilson and everybody that works at the shop and worked all last year to get this thing going. And we just kept running head on in the walls last year, but this year it seems to be turning around for us.
A lot of money today, big guy. I mean, not only we're talking about the halfway challenge, we're talking about winning the race, we're talking about the Unical $228,000 and the winner's circle. We're talking probably $700,000 to $1 million. Is that's quite a bit of cash.
Yeah, and I have to admit, I was thinking about it all day long. I tell you, man, this Peak Pontiac, it worked perfect all day. You know, I can't say enough about the crew and what getting me in and out of the pits first and second all day long. And it's their race, man. They won it. I just rode around in the car.
Got to be a good omen for 1990. This has got to serve notice that this Sapco team is going to be a contender every week.
Yeah, it is. You know, like I said, we had such bad luck last year, and everybody stood behind us. Felix, our owner, Felix Sabato, our owner, Pontiac, Peak, Antifreeze, Uniden, everybody stood behind us. Mobil 1 came on board this year, even as bad a year as we had, so we knew people had confidence in us. We just had to come out and show people that we could do it, and so far this year we've been able to do it in a couple races.
He certainly showed them a day. A dominating win at North Carolina Motor Speedway for Kyle Petty. He gets a big kiss from his daughter and his wife here, and car owner Felix Sabato is here in Victory Lane. The Goodrich 500 is over, and Kyle Petty has won it. We'll be back with more from North Carolina Motor Speedway after this.
The same battery that has started 9 out of 10 NASCAR winners since 1977. Also starts millions of cars all over America every day. Die Hard. More power when you need it most.
My back was killing me. I'd been sleeping in my office for 3 days. The shootout with the Ferrazzi mob at Deep Six my place. The landlady'd said enough was enough. I had to find a place, a first-class place but affordable, and no landlady. Then it came back to me. Stewart Mobile Homes, Nebraska Avenue, Tampa, the #1 dealer in Hillsborough County. Featured Fleetwood, America's #1 home. Stewart Mobile Homes, Nebraska Avenue between Bush and Fowler.
Cedar lap siding, wood grain hardboiled lap siding, 3/4-inch wafer board, $9.99. Metal doors, $39. Solid core doors, $12.99.
You can borrow this VCR tape to show you how to install this 12-foot cabinet set for only $533.38. It's easy. All real solid wood cabinets can be bought here. No particle board in them. All this paneling is on sale again. Bay City Plywood, Tampa and Pinellas.
Scotty's who? Where? When?
He has won the Goodwrench 500, leading all but 58 laps of this 492-lap event. Jeff Bodine second, then Ken Schrader, Sterling Marlin, and Rusty Wallace. It was a race that he just totally dominated, guys.
Bob, it was unbelievable. I really and truly, I knew that Kyle Petty had a good car, but whether he could do it for 500 laps, 492 laps, unbelievable.
Never faltered all the way. Just stayed right there all the way.
There are the top 15 finishers. Now let's show you the revised point standings. Dale Earnhardt holds on to the points lead. He endured lots of trouble this afternoon, but still drove to a 10th place finish and maintains the points lead. Rusty Wallace is second, then Morgan Shepherd. Kyle Petty moves into 4th position in the point standings, and look at this. Jimmy Spencer has moved into 5th position in the point standings by virtue of an 8th place finish here this afternoon. It was a new race record, 122.864, the average speed for Kyle Petty's win. We'll be back with more from Rockingham in a moment.
Well, I'm an old mule skinner, working hard all day. There ain't a skinner tougher. Mule, you earn your pay.
Introducing the 4x4 Kawasaki Mule and the original Mule 1000. About the only job they can't help you do is look up the number for the Mule dealer nearest you. And that's 1-800-661-RIDE.
Presenting Coleman's newest idea in lighting and the world's oldest idea, the Coleman electronic ignition lantern and the torch. Both are easy to carry and easy to adjust. But the Coleman lantern is also easy to light without matches. You turn it on just by turning a knob, while the torch depends on a somewhat less reliable ignition system. The Coleman electronic ignition lantern, the best idea in lighting since the Dark Ages.
You know, AutoZone customers are pretty special. I mean, they take great pains to do a job just right, so they know exactly what they want. That's why we carry so many parts and guarantee over 42,000 of them for as long as you own your car. It's also why we price them so low, because you got to admire a man who will tackle a job like putting in his own water pump or starter, and you got to give a guy like that exactly what he wants. The right part at the best price.
This spring, if it happens in Major League Baseball, you'll find it on ESPN. Every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, you'll see live games. Plus, there's a nightly look at the big leagues on Baseball Tonight. We're covering the national pastime full-time. Major League Baseball on ESPN.
There once again are the top 5 finishers, and the Western Auto mechanic of the race is Steve Lloyd on the 4th place Sterling Marlin car. Let's get a quick comment from the 2nd place finisher, Jeff Bodine. Dick?
Well, second's nice, but boy, that number 42 was a rocket today, wasn't it?
I think everyone's happy for Kyle, Felix Sabatis, Gary Nelson. They dominated the whole showdown here, qualifying the race. But, you know, we did pretty good with that Budweiser Ford. We had Junior Johnson out there turning some wedge bolts, and Tim Brewer's in there making adjustments. We came back. We're holding our heads up. We had a good run, just a little short. Hi, kids. Hi.
There's Jeff and Kathy Bodine, happy to finish second here this afternoon.
We will be back to wrap up our first Winston Cup telecast of 1990 after this message. Stay with us.
Barbasol gel gives you a super close shave like the other gel, but at a great Barbasol price.
Your Barbasol gel, son. Your change, son.
Barbasol gel. No wonder it appeals to the rich.
Who's that? Our neighbor, Orrin. Ever since he got his new Murray, he's been mowing the whole neighborhood.
When you pay good money for a mower, you want it to be tough and dependable.
Does such a good job, we're making the yard bigger. What? Does such a
Murray
good...
mowers are as tough as they come, cutting after cutting after cutting.
That Murray's a good buy.
What?
Goodbye.
Oh, say hello to Edna.
Murray mowers, tough as they come.
Frank, I send you for a Bud Light, and you bring back...
Well, Bud Light won't fill you up, never lets you down.
So, there are no men here, there's an unlimited supply of Bud Light, and we can never leave.
Correct.
Everything else is just a light.
We can live with that. Yeah.
You haven't got half the parts I need.
How about a nice, tasteful hood ornament?
No, actually, I was looking for
something in an air freshener.
At Big A, we take our customers seriously. Our nationwide parts network helps make sure we have the parts you need when you need them.
Many men have sensitive skin that's irritated by shaving. Aftershave Skin Conditioner is clinically proven to soothe and relieve razor-scraped skin. Sensible care for sensitive skin. After.
By men. The top 15 finishers in the Goodwrench 500 this afternoon. Kyle Petty with his third career Winston Cup win at Richmond, at the World 600 in Charlotte, and here today at the Rock, North Carolina Motor Speedway in Rockingham. Coming up next here on ESPN, the Silver Crown portion of the Copper Classic from Phoenix International Raceway. That's from 4:30 until 5 o'clock. Our next NASCAR Winston Cup telecast will be on April 1st. We'll be live in Darlington, South Carolina for the Trans-South 500. We hope you'll be with us. Our congratulations to Kyle Petty and crew on their outstanding win here this afternoon. And my thanks to Benny Parsons and Ned Jarrett for their help in the booth, and from the pit area, Dick Berggren and Dr. Jerry Punch. Don't forget Speed Week coming up this Friday. We'll see you on April 1st. For now, Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.
One airline works harder than any other to make sure that a good landing not only means getting you there on time, but landing your bag in your hand on time as well. United. Come fly the friendly skies.
In the beginning, Indy cars raced primarily on dirt. Drivers like A.J. Foyt, Bobby Marshman, and Parnelli Jones parlayed IndyCar successes on dirt tracks like Phoenix to Indianapolis. But big-time racing moved to pavement. Traditional racers believe that only true drivers race on both, and maybe the best is Ken Schrader. Today, the finest from USAC test him as their premier division. The Silver Crown cars challenge the rocket-fast pavement at Phoenix. ESPN, the world leader in motorsports coverage, presents Speed World. Larry Newber and Steve Chassie in Phoenix, Arizona for the annual Copper Classic. And today we present the Silver Crown Championship Dirt Cars. This is a big event for these drivers. This is a track unlike any they'll run on for the rest of the season. And this weekend is also very important to them. Many of them wait all year long to come here and perform well at Phoenix, Arizona.
Well, they do, Larry. This is a gathering. Everyone meets here. This is the icebreaker. It starts the season. Everyone's been all kept up all winter, and they can't wait to get out here to Phoenix. And this race is really, it's the Indianapolis 500 for the Champ Dirt Cars, the Silver Crown Series. It draws a lot of great people to this race. As a matter of fact, one guy who always runs good at Daytona, Kenny Schrader, is here, who is the race winner from last year.
Well, Gary Lee is standing by right now down at the head of the grid. He's going to talk to Kenny Schrader, and his car owner for races like this. They call him Boston Louie.
Well, Kenny Schrader, this has been a most successful association with the Black 29. In 6 outings, you won 4. You led the other 2 before breaking. And I know you work at this. This is your living. but this is a fun weekend for you.
Well, it certainly is. Whenever we get to drive one of Louis Seymour's cars, we go real serious to try to win. They put a lot of pressure on us to win, but it's fun.
Well, I can see by that big smile you're eager to go. We'll let you strap in, and we'll talk to the man right over here. Boston Louis Seymour comes out of Massachusetts. You couldn't have a better driver in this Black 29.
No, we certainly couldn't. We're real happy to have Kenny anytime we can get him.
You talked this weekend about the pressure as a car owner. You have done so well here. You've done so well with Kenny no matter where you run this Silver Crown car. People expect you to win, and you're full of pressure, don't you?
Well, we're going to try, but 3 times in a row is pretty tough, but we don't give up. We got a good crew and best driver you can get, and we're going to try her again.
We do not have what you would call desert conditions for today's race, but as you can see at 54 degrees, that's like Midwest weather. Partly sunny, a slight wind out of the southeast, and we have about a 15% chance of rain.
Here we are back at Phoenix on the 1 mile dogleg oval, a rather narrow 60-foot, turns 1 and 2, banked 11 degrees, 3 and 4, 9 degrees.
The Silver Crown cars are designed to run primarily on dirt, but they'll run on the 1 mile pavement today. On the pole, the brand new track record is Ken Schrader. That is he in the black number 29. Gary Bettenhausen is alongside. In the second row, California's Brent Kading and Jeff Gordon, now living in Indiana. In row 3, from the World of Outlaws, Dave Blaney and pavement specialist Bob Fry. Steve Butler and Dave Feast are side by side behind them. Mark Alderson and Mike Bliss from the Pacific Northwest. And in row 6, Wally Pankratz and Eric Gordon. In the 7th row, George Snyder and Andy Hillenberg, that's Indiana's Hillenberg. Leland McSpadden and Walt Kennedy from Southern California. Wayne Hammond from Florida and Darrell Hall. In the 10th row, Danny Milburn and Rich Vogler. In row number 11, side by side, Tony Elliott and Chuck Gurney, last year's champion of these cars. Then comes Jimmy Sills and Greg Staub from the Cincinnati area. Bob Ciccone from out east and Ronnie Dunstan, also from out east. Gary Griffith, Ohio, and Davey Hamilton from Idaho. In the 16th row is Frank McDaniel and Bob Davison. There is young Jeff Gordon.
Jeff is really an amazing young guy, 18 years old. He is proficient in whatever he drives. He just one of the new rising, shining stars.
And Bob Fry, originally from Ohio, now living here in the Phoenix area.
He's in a trucking firm out here in Phoenix. Always runs good on the pavement, always has run good on the pavement.
And there is Bob Ciccone. Now, this is a familiar race car to followers of Midwest open wheel racing.
Sure, that's Benny Leva's car. Jack Steck is the mechanic on that car. And Bob is a great midget chauffeur, runs all over the country in midgets, and also does the Silver Crown now.
And in Galen Fox's number 56, our camera car for today, that is Wally Pankratz.
And you're listening to the engine at around 3,000 RPM. They're right at the bottom of what they call the cam. And they almost stutter and buck, but you can hear the horsepower they make.
30 United States Auto Club Silver Crown cars all set to go for their fastest race of the season. Out of turn number 4, Kenny Schrader sees the green flag, drops the accelerator, but Gary Bettenhausen on the outside beats him into turn number 1.
Yeah, Schrader's on the pole, but he's been complaining about low horsepower all day. And there's a shot of Wally got bumped. You know, that's unnerving. When you come into the first turn, you're not sure about your car, and you get bumped in the rear end. You think, whoa, I'm not going fast enough.
There is Bettenhausen in the white and orange car, and the bright orange car running in second position is Jeff Gordon.
We expected him to run good. You know, it depends upon if he can run all day long, 50 miles that fast.
His inexperience is likely to tell on this track. It's very tricky for the Silver Crown cars. Pavement racing for cars designed to run on dirt.
It's difficult, but these cars are basically set up to run on pavement. You got to ride with Wally here. You can hear him come off the throttle. There's another race going on right there, the 56 car. That's Wally.
That's Gary Gordon right up in front of him in that other white car, passing on the outside, number 81.
On the outside's a good place to pass here in turn 3 because you're up on the bank a little better, and the car seems to stick good up there.
Bettenhausen continues to run up front, and Jeff Gordon continues to pressure. That is Jeff. And Jeff a little bit out of shape, and that will punish his tires later in this race.
It is, and there's two different styles. The old master running smooth and straight, and there's a young Charger really standing on the gas and using the car 100% all it's worth.
In the black car, that Schrader, remember how spectacularly he has performed at Daytona for the past 2 seasons. And in the yellow car is Bob Fry, the pavement specialist from right here in Phoenix, Arizona. Today's Copper Classic is being brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is One Tough Motor Oil. And by Busch, the beer with the taste as smooth as its name. You're riding with Californian Wally Pancras. We'll be back after these words.
They got the green flag at Daytona, roared through Talladega, left Darlington in the dust. And which car piled up the most tough NASCAR miles in '89? The Quaker State King Racing Buick. Its engine getting maximum protection from one tough motor oil. The same Quaker State you buy right off the shelf. Only one car was tough enough to stack up NASCAR's highest mileage total. Only one oil was tough enough to tough it out every single one of those miles. Quaker State. The big Q is one tough motor oil.
We're looking. We're looking. Yes, we are looking. Come on. I'm just looking for a push.
Bic. At Bic, we sympathize with the ways that you pull and stretch your face in search of a better shave. That's why we've created the Bic Metal Shaver. The patented Bic Metal stretches and smooths your skin thanks to its unique metal guard bar, so the shaver glides closely and comfortably. So instead of stretching, start reaching for a Bic Metal Shaver. It stretches your skin for a better shave. And that's no stretch.
10 different states are represented in today's 30-car starting field for the USAC Silver Crown cars, and 4 competitors are really having a go at it up front for the lead.
And now they're counting up the traffic. It makes a lot of sense. The guys that run more often should do better, but look at this. Gary's down the inside.
Gordon and Gordon almost loses control going into turn number 1. He drops from 2nd to 4th position.
They're hard to make back up, especially in lap traffic, but I'm surprised he took the high road. He runs enough midget races, you'd think he'd stay down low.
Where we're seeing a big change in the characteristic of these championship dirt cars running on this pavement. They appear to be very solid on this track in years past, and this year they're darting and diving like midgets running on a quarter mile.
Look at Gary's right front tire. It's got a ring around it. And in that last corner, he pushed real hard and allowed Schrader to catch him. I think Gary's going to push the right. There he is. He just pushes enough, slows down, and Schrader's going to go right on by.
Now that ring that Steve referred to as Gary Benthausen uses lap traffic to hold on to his lead, it's very subtle, and you have to look very carefully to see it. You'll see it just on the outside of Gary's right front tire as we go inside the cage cam mounted car of Wally Pancras.
We'll see how his car's operating here. He gets in the corner pretty good. He's coming back off. It's maybe just a little bit loose, but not bad. Now that could cause a tire to blister, or it could be caused by a tire blistering.
The leaders again, Benthausen, originally out of Illinois, now living in the state of Indiana. Ken Schrader living in the southeast now because of all of his stock car racing, originally from Missouri. And there is Bob Fry. He too is a transplanted driver from Elyria, Ohio, now living in Phoenix.
And now you can see that ring real good on Gary's tire. Now he's slow in the middle of the corner where
Schrader almost loses it, but he gets a big bite on that high side.
Yeah, he cooked it in, and he had enough speed across the middle of the corner that he got by Gary.
And here comes Jeff Gordon on the outside, getting around Fry.
These guys are all using their tires too hard. Look at that push on Gary's car. They're all using their tires too hard. They are not going to last all day long.
Well, Jeff Gordon is definitely the wild card, the unknown commodity. Remember, he lost a couple of 100 yards, just a couple of laps to go through lap traffic, and look how quickly he is caught back up with the leaders.
Yeah, and you look how Fry's right with him. Now, he's got a V6 Chevy car. It's not quite as hard on the tires because it has less weight and less horsepower. There's Butler in, changing a right rear tire. Now, there again, we're talking about using the tires too hard and blistering tires early in the race.
Tires are a major, major factor on these cars in this race. There is Gordon looking to the inside of Schrader, but there's not quite enough room this time. Jeff Gordon is getting a terrific drive coming out of turn number 2. That is the place in the track as we go back down pit side and look at Butler, where Gordon's car is the best coming out of the second corner.
It sure looks that way. Gordon is really driving the car hard. Now, they're changing the left rear on this car. Since they had to stop and change the right rear tire, if it wasn't just right in the handling, they'll change the left rear also and maybe change the stagger to make it feel better to them.
Steve Butler, who was the 1988 national champion. Now back on the track, there's Gordon once again looking inside of Schrader. And there is that dog leg, and this time Gordon gets a little bigger thrust going into turn 3.
He really was gassing it down the straight through the inside of the dog leg, and he just had a good enough run that he got by him on the inside.
Well, this is not a sprint race. We will go 50 laps or 50 miles, so you really have to consider the endurance, not only of the driver, but the race car. And Wally Pancras is flowing.
Wally must have tire troubles too. The engine's running good. I can't see any problem. He must just have a blistered tire.
And look at the leaders. We've had a lead change. Ken Schrader now finds himself in front, and the front 3 cars are in heavy traffic.
Traffic makes it. Look at the front tires on Jeff's car. He has too much front brake on the tires, and they're hopping like crazy getting in the corner, and that really upsets a car.
Also, we're seeing puffs of smoke now out of Bob Fry's car. He is running 3rd in the race. Now, Gary Lee is standing by near Pancras. Let's see if we can find out what his problem is.
Wally Pancras in the camera car. The Tennessee Beer Wagon number 56. Again, it's a tire change, so a number of these crews have miscalculated on exactly what right rear tire they needed for this Phoenix mile. It may be the temperature, it may be the weather conditions. It's not as warm as it was yesterday. That could predicate exactly what tire compound they used. They may have just simply misguessed it.
And unlike an Indianapolis car or Winston Cup racing, you cannot stop at one of these events and have a chance of winning.
No, you really can't. You stop once, and you're out of the race for winning.
This is the tussle for second place. That is 18-year-old Jeff Gordon sliding high into turn number 1, and Fry slips underneath. The veteran pavement racer pressured the youngster, and when Jeff gave him just enough room, Fry slipped underneath. But look at Jeff. He is really fast today.
Jeff's not going to give anything up. He's overusing his tires. He's going to have tire trouble later, I guarantee. But Fry, on the other hand, he's like Bettenhausen. He's smooth as glass.
You know, this is an interesting situation because not only has Jeff Gordon never driven one of these cars, but he's never driven on this track in this car. Here is 7th and 8th place, Mark Alderson and Bob Ciccone. And the story about Ciccone, they're passing on the inside. Remember, that's the fight for 7th. He started in the back because he had to qualify for this race through a non-qualifiers event yesterday.
And he's running well. He's coming up through the pack. But there again, he is always running good on pavement, a good pavement racer.
Ciccone started in 25th position. His qualifying speed was down to about 122 mile per hour average speed. And this Ben Hoosier Tire Jackstack car is running well. Here's Walt Kennedy, the Southern Californian. He has come to a stop on the inside of turn number 4, sure to bring out, there it is, yes, the yellow flag. Yes. Here at Phoenix, we have a terrific race going on for the win. The first 4 positions have traded repeatedly on this very quick 1-mile paved oval. Here are the leaders after about 1/3 of this high-speed 50-mile argument. Ken Schrader is the leader of the race. Bob Fry, the pavement specialist, runs in second in the yellow number 20. Jeff Gordon is in 3rd in car number 35, and it's a challenging position. The veteran Gary Bettenhausen is 4th, and Northern California Brett Katie rests in 5th.
I love the guy, but he just doesn't get it.
It was always in the house. Now, would he read it? No.
He didn't know Perestroika from Paris, Texas. And I needed more.
The newspaper.
A life of the mind.
You just wonder where you went wrong.
We should have sold him when we had the chance.
He's my best friend.
He's a jarhead.
So I told him, read, and the world is your oyster. He says, I don't eat oysters.
The Tampa Tribune.
You either get it or you don't.
Tom Steinmetz, St. Petersburg, Florida, Highway 19 and 38th Avenue. Folks, over 400 vans to choose from. Brand new custom vans from $14,999. Folks, why pay $2,000 or $3,000 more? $14,999, brand new custom vans, over 400 to choose from. Folks, pre-owned, local one-owner custom vans from $89.99. Anywhere else, $10,900, $11,900. Tom Steinmetz, number 1, St. Petersburg, Florida.
One of the cars we have been keeping a close eye today is that of Jeff Gordon's.
We've been watching this car that bounces the front end real hard entering the corner. The shocks look okay, so I'd say it's just a matter he has too much front brake on the car.
Jeff Gordon has run in the top 4 since the drop of the green flag. He qualified there. Now, you are inside with Wally Pankratz. He has made a pit stop. They've made some tire changes in the car. It'll be interesting to see if he's quicker.
Well, he'll be quicker because of this reason. He has fresh tires. Other guys have old tires. He'll look spectacular, but it's all for naught.
Yep, we're going back to green flag. Pankratz has lost at least 1 lap, and he is not a threat to win this race. There is Ken Schrader in the black silver trim, number 29. He darts down to the number 1 corner. He has won the 2 previous visits of this division to this track. So Schrader coming in was the man to beat.
He was, but look at the lead. He had a great start. There's great racing behind him, but he's kind of running his own race.
Only twice have the championship dirt cars been a part of the Copper Weekend. This is that second visit. Ken Schrader once won a independent November race out here, but Schrader in that car from the Boston area looks strong again. There is Bob Fry.
You look at the 2 different lines. Here we have Brent Kading in the pit. He is pointing down to something inside. Doesn't look too happy about it.
No, he doesn't. Leaders once again in heavy traffic. That first orange car there is Jeff Gordon. He's been able to stay ahead of Gary Bettenhausen. And there is Bob Ciccone and George Schneider. Schneider in that black number 11, that's A.J. Foyt's car. He has moved up. He is the 5th car there in line. Lots of trading positions on the backstretch, going to the dog leg. There is Jeff Gordon in that white and orange trim car, trying to hold his line, and that is Ciccone pressuring him.
And right behind them is Gary Bettenhausen and Dave Feast driving the 69 car that I drove last year. He's trying to get the outside on Gary, but Gary has the power on the straightaway.
An interesting psychological driver study going on. There is the veteran Ciccone looking to the inside of Jeff Gordon. Gordon, very short on experience on this track. He is driving his heart out, but experience really means a lot. Now Ciccone looks to the high side. Gordon has been strong in this section of the racetrack in previous laps, but does he still have the race car underneath him? He pushes a little bit going into turn number 3, gives Bob some room, but not enough.
Now, I think his tires just about gone. He's used them up so long. It won't be long, and Bob, he'll find a way by him. Right now, he's running all over him, and he just can't find the open key to get through.
The cars are pretty much evenly matched. This really is a driver's division. And right now, Bob Ciccone is sending Jeff Gordon to school. And Jeff, even though he's short on that experience, is really doing his best holding back Ciccone. Although it looks like Ciccone now finally has the advantage. And perhaps with a late yellow, he may be a factor to win this thing.
You see, Jeff's slow corner speed slows him down coming out of the corner, so he's losing all his advantage he had.
Bob Ciccone now ascends to 3rd. Gordon is 4th, and Dave Feast runs in 5th. Now, Gary is standing by near Brent Kading. Remember, he was one of the best runners who dropped out recently.
If they ever gave an award for the most original driving suit, I like that. Viv overalls in a race car. You're not a happy guy right now. What put you out?
Well, we had a bearing problem with a input shaft, and it vibrated so bad. The bell housings fell off the motor plate. I wanted to keep these 2 feet for next week, so we'll wait till the next time.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to be smart than brave.
Yeah, I'm getting a little older. About 3 or 4 years ago, I'd have kept on going, probably been crippled.
He's very, very fortunate that when it did come loose, it did spin and break both his legs, or crushed him at least. Very smart to pull in, and I'm surprised he didn't get injured at all.
Now, this is up front, that white car with the red trim, number 56, that is Wally Pankratz. Our camera car, he has just passed race leader Ken Schrader. But remember, Pankratz has fresher tires.
I said he'd be spectacular on fresh tires, and they've had 3 or 4 chances, or 2 chances, pardon me, to get the stagger just right.
And poor old Jeff Gordon, man, he has been fighting with people all race long. Now he has Dave Feast and George Schneider who are trying to wrestle that 5th position away from him.
And they will make it.
Uh-oh, we've got trouble on the front stretch. That is Floridian Wayne Hammond. He has got upside down here on the mile on the front stretch right in front of the main grandstand. Now, it was a spectacular crash, although the car, the integrity of it, Steve, stayed together. So if Wayne was able to stay down inside that thing, he is probably not injured seriously.
Yeah, no, and the thing is that they hit real hard because they're traveling at over 120 miles an hour, and it bounces hard.
Well, let's take another look at this. Now, you see the incident has already begun. Wayne gets out of shape, hits the inside wall, and it just jets the car back into the middle of the track.
I think the 85 car might have just gotten into him a little bit, because you don't lose it on the straightaway for no reason like that. And, you know, it's hard to say really what happened, but it looked like the 85 car got a piece of him.
And there is Wayne Hammond walking. It's not a jaunty walk, but at least he's under his own power.
Imagine where you'll be. Imagine where we'll find you.
We'll deliver over 500,000 times tonight, all across the country. It's time for Domino's Pizza. All you have to do is call, and you know we'll be there.
Time for Domino's Pizza. Oh, yeah.
One Tough Motor Oil announces one tough guarantee. The Quaker State 250,000-mile or 10-year guarantee. Register your new car at a participating service center. Then use only Quaker State. Have oil and filter changed as directed at a service center, and if any lubricated engine part suffers an oil-related breakdown within 250,000 miles or 10 years, you're covered. Quaker State guarantees it in writing. The big Q is one Tough Motor Oil.
Jeff, we talked just prior to this red flag that this has not been physically a good weekend for you. You're kind of racing in a puny state right now, but let's talk about the car. There looks to be some problem here.
Well, you know, we went from fourth to first, back to fourth and up to first, and now we're like fifth or sixth, and I think that I just used the tire too much too early, and now I think it's starting to go away on me a little bit.
So you think it's tire and not suspension?
Well, I'm really not sure. If I knew, we'd have it done, but I think it's tire.
We are under red because of a front straightaway crash and rollover by Wayne Hammond from Florida, and here's another angle at that, Steve.
And you can see how far the car travels between hits, and when it hits hard at 120 miles an hour until it stops.
Oh, it really does, and it hurts. By the way, that puny state that Gary was referring to about Jeff Gordon, Jeff has been in bed with a flu, only getting out of bed to come out for practice and racing this weekend. He couldn't even attend the pre-race parties the night before, the last 2 nights.
It's a great race for the lead. Fry's a little wiggly there. He might have some brake problems, but I think he's going to have a hard time getting by Schrader, because Schrader has a pretty good engine in his car. It runs good in the straight.
Just 2.5 laps to go. Now, each of these people have won 4 previous Copper events. So the bragging rights for the all-time winningest driver in the Copper Classic is up for grabs. There's third place, Bob Ciccone, in that black, purple, and red trim, number 3.
And here comes George Snyder. After a tire change, he looks though he's really fast. We'll see what ends at the end of the race here, see where he ends up.
And, of course, the white car just out of camera range on the right, that is Jeff Gordon. He is struggling to hold on to 5th place, but here's one of the 2 outstanding battles on the track. Ciccone from the East Coast, from Pennsylvania, and George Snyder from Bakersfield, California. White flag coming up.
George is looking for a way around. He's looking for the inside. Now, if he can just get a little bit of room, his car is really working good. He should be able to get by.
Oh, and getting very high. Going into turn number 1 is Schneider. There is first and second Schrader and Bob Fry. And Bob Fry is seeing his chance for victory slip away. Ken Schrader is doing what he does so often in these races. He drives a nearly perfect race.
George is standing up in the seat, we call it. He is really gassing. He's a little bit faster, but can't find his way
Checkered
by.
flag for Ken Schrader and Louis Seymour, and crew and sons celebrate yet another victory by this amazing race driver, Ken Schrader. He wins again.
General Rent-A-Car has 3 free unlimited miles.
General has free unlimited miles.
Coast to coast.
Case to case.
Close to close.
Close to close.
Coast to coast.
You'll smile when you see General's low rates.
Piece of cake.
At Bic, we sympathize with the ways that you pull and stretch your face in search of a better shave.
That's why we've created the Big Metal Shaver. The patented Big Metal stretches and smooths your skin thanks to its unique metal guard bar, so the shaver glides closely and comfortably. So instead of stretching, start reaching for a Big Metal Shaver. It stretches your skin for a better shave. And that's no stretch.
Kenny Schrader in this particular ride goes 5 out of 7, and he fell out of the other 2 while leading. Kenny, congratulations.
Well, I'll tell you what, it felt awful good. Man, I knew the world was right on us on that restart, but we went to a little different tire, and it held up for 3 laps. I wouldn't have wanted to run 4.
You went real soft.
We went pretty soft. We was about as soft as they made. It's the same tire we qualified on, and he picked up a pretty good push the last turn. I got worried somebody's going to get underneath us.
Well, let's talk about earlier in the race. You did not have the domination of this event that I've seen in the past.
Maybe Louis needs to answer that. Everybody else keeps getting bigger and better engines, and ours just keeps getting more worn out.
Well, maybe you could take some of this prize money and put that toward a new engine.
We're strongly going to talk about that tonight, I guarantee you.
All right, Kenny Schrader in victory lane for the 5th time here at Phoenix.
And at this track, the Silver Crown cars have run only 3 times in history, and Ken Schrader and Louis Seymour have won them all. There is Bob Fry, who finished 2nd in this race. Bob Zaccone, after a great drive, nets 3rd, and George Schneider holds on. An exciting last lap for 4th, and Jeff Gordon talking about holding on. This man was on the edge of the cliff all day long. Dave Feast, great race in 6th. Indiana's Andy Hillenberg comes home a well-deserved 7th. Mike Bliss is 8th. Eric Gordon will be 9th, and Indiana's Danny Milborn is in 10th position at the end of this year's Copper Classic. Today's race was brought to you by Quaker State. The Big Q is one tough motor oil. One final look at Wayne Hammond caroming down the front stretch, and watch how hard this car hits on its final rollovers. Hammond, of course, walked away from this. A nice testimony to the modern safety technology of the Silver Crown United States Auto Club Championship Dirt Cars. There is Boston Louis Seymour, and we leave you with the happy face of victory from Phoenix, Arizona.
The challenge for a pro skier: to quiet the mind, to visualize the changing course, to overcome fears, and to reach inside for the winner's